Go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Texas School for the Blind has a swim team, a track team. We do long distance running, and we do tandem biking. Those are those sports that we participate in. And we also belong to a conference called the South Central Association of Schools for the Blind, and that's where we compete in cheerleading, track and field, wrestling.
Forward, hips. Keep your hips clear. Get that hand in deep.
Wrestling is probably one of the better sports for these kids who are blind and visually impaired, because there are really no accommodations. It's a great sport for them to be able to show non-visually impaired individuals what they can do.
Other non-visually impaired teams tend to underestimate them, so then they kind of don't expect what they get.
Hip highs. Walk.
Wrestling for the blind and visually impaired is exactly the same for sighted and non-sighted individuals. The only difference is we have a condition called touch start, in which the wrestlers, the individuals competing, cannot break contact. That's the only accommodation we use. So therefore, we're the only sport that we compete on a regular playing field with any other school. We have kids that are totally blind, kids who have relatively good vision now, who will lose their vision as they get older. The only major hindrance of the lack of sight for our students is the learning. We can't just show a video and have the kids emulate it. We have got to get in and manipulate their hands, show them body position. With the kids who are totally blind, we actually have to manipulate their arms and legs to show them what it feels like, have them do it to us, we have to do it to them, whatever moves, whatever holds. But that's the only hindrance, really. It's just the speed of learning. Other than that, everything it's not effective.
It's a challenge on that because we have to memorize all the moves and actually feel whenever we have to shoot for a move and all that. But it's actually really fun.
I feel like I had confidence in myself that I can do the things that boys can do. I really am competitive, and I love to compete against everybody and go out and, do my thing. But most of all, I like learning new things in wrestling. It's really fun.
We all know each other and all that, and we can trust each other. And it's kind of just like a big family and everything. It's just really cool how we all work with each other.
Since we're all living on the campus, we all get to know each other better. So when we're practicing, it's not as much tentative as it would be in public school where people don't know each other that much. So we're more willing to try stuff and get used to doing stuff. And so when we get out there to wrestle other teams, we're familiar with what we're doing and we're not uncomfortable with, being too aggressive with the other person.
The level of support that they give each other is amazing, and it's really one of the most rewarding things to see when these kids get together, because they're come from such disparate backgrounds, different parts of the state, different economic, social backgrounds, and they all came from backgrounds where they were the outsider. They were the weird kid because they were blind or they were visually impaired. And they're put in an environment where they're no longer the weird kid, they're no longer the oddball. And when you put them on a team for a sport that they consider an individual sport, and they realize that everyone relies in some way, shape, or form, they rely on each other.
Who are we? Wildcats. Who are we? Wildcats. Go work out. Go get some rest. Go get something to eat. Take plenty of showers, lots of showers.